Welcome back to the channel. Zyro here. Let me be honest with you. If you're already sick of seeing AI everywhere, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, whatever app you're doom scrolling right now, I wouldn't expect that to slow down anytime soon. This isn't random, and it's not because everyone suddenly fell in love with artificial intelligence. This is intentional. We're moving into what I'd call the feedlock era, a time where everything is optimized around keeping you scrolling, consuming, and dependent, while quietly removing anything that doesn't fit cleanly into that system. And like every shift before it, what regular people lose doesn't disappear. It just gets moved upward. For a long time, something about the internet has bothered me, and I could never really put my finger on it until recently. We didn't just use the internet, we trained it. Every post, comment, video, search, and argument became fuel. Whether you agreed to it or not, everything you ever put online was scraped and fed into some system behind the scenes. At this point, most of the public internet has already been processed. So the next step isn't more data, it's behavior. Learning directly from humans in real time. And this isn't about improving quality, it's about breaking resistance. Once you see it that way, a lot of things suddenly make sense. Take gaming hardware, for example. People are talking about absurd GPU prices, shortages, and $5,000 graphics cards like it's just inflation or supply chain issues. But that's not the full picture. AI workloads are eating up compute at a massive scale. These systems don't just run in the background, they dominate infrastructure. AI is embedded everywhere now. Search engines, schools, workplaces. If you've Googled something recently or written an email, you've probably interacted with it. Most people treat it like a helpful assistant, and on the surface, that's fine. But convenience isn't the end goal. Dependency is. The companies building this stuff don't want you to use AI. They want you to feel uncomfortable without it. And the fastest way to lock that in is by forcing it into entertainment, music, video, art, things people emotionally attach to. A few years ago, AI music started popping up everywhere. Some of it was obviously dumb. Meme songs, novelty tracks, stuff no one took seriously. And that was the point. That phase wasn't about quality. It was about normalization. Boomers and kids were the easiest entry points. Kids' content has always been a wasteland. Low standards, no pushback, pure engagement farming. That space didn't fall, it was built that way. And older audiences were sold AI as cool, impressive, or the future. Now comes the harder part, everyone else. The goal now isn't to make AI content unavoidable. It already is. The goal is to make it indistinguishable. It's not about whether you watch AI videos. It's about whether you know you're watching them. That's why so much content feels hollow lately. You can't tell if there's a real person behind it anymore. And when people accuse creators of being AI, that's not paranoia. It's a symptom of saturation. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Even without AI, human creativity was already struggling. Movies feel recycled. Shows feel soulless. Games feel like lectures. Everything has to justify itself. Everything needs a message. People are tired. Thinking all the time is exhausting. Interpreting, decoding, filtering, it wears you down. And when people get tired enough, they stop pushing back. They accept whatever's easiest to consume. That's where brain rot comes in. Not because it's good, but because it doesn't ask anything from you. You don't have to think. You don't have to care. You just watch. Even if you hate it, you'll still give it a few seconds of attention. And attention is all the feedlock era needs from you. This system isn't betting on you giving up overnight. It's betting on slow erosion. And honestly, it's working. We don't share culture anymore. We share feeds. You and your neighbor probably don't watch the same shows, listen to the same music, or play the same games. But you definitely know the same headlines. Politics is the last shared language, and even that is engineered to split perception in half. Two narratives. Everything else gets buried. When people lose trust in their own judgment, they hand it off to something else. That's not new. Philosophers warned about it centuries ago. What's new is the scale and the speed. AI fits perfectly into that gap. And here's the part that actually matters to me. If humanity stops being valuable, we become replaceable. Not metaphorically, literally. Jobs are already disappearing. Automation is accelerating. Robotics isn't some distant future anymore. The only leverage regular people ever had was labor, creativity, and participation. Remove that, and what incentive is left to keep things livable? Do you really think the people who already talk about you like a liability are going to preserve your quality of life out of goodwill? The second we outsource creativity entirely, we accept replacement. And any resistance to that will be drowned out by bots, artificial consensus, and algorithmic approval. I'm conflicted because part of me thinks people should unplug more. But the internet is still the only megaphone most people have. Historically, change only happens when voices gather. The scary part is that power doesn't belong to countries anymore. It belongs to aligned companies. And the most unified group on the planet right now is tech. They pretend to compete, but their money and infrastructure are tied together. That's not rivalry. That's consolidation. The future they're building isn't one where you own experiences. It's one where you rent simulations. Personalized, optimized, endlessly adjustable, but never truly yours. That's the feedlock era. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I'm just a guy sharing an opinion. But ignoring this doesn't stop it. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. I do read them. Do you think AI keeps pushing further into everyday life? Or do you think there's a way to slow it down? If you haven't already, like and subscribe. It genuinely helps more than you think. Thanks for listening. Zyro out.